Good morning, Motivational Monday with Maureen. Well, if you remember from last week, we finished Romans. And so we're going to start something new this week. And so all week I've been asking the Lord what we need to talk about. His word's awesome. There's no bad ones, but there's timely ones. And so I was thinking about Philippians chapter 4, because there's so much in there that, you hear quoted a lot. And so that sent me on, well, let me read all of Philippians. It's only 4 little chapters. And then what's the main theme of this book? And do you know what it is? It's joy. Joy. Paul wrote this, and he wrote joy, the word joy, 16 times in this little 4-chapter letter. Okay, and so that got me thinking, well, why is Paul writing joy so much? And then I found out, where Paul is when he's writing this? He's in prison. Okay, well, that doesn't jive with me. In prison, writing about joy. Well, then I thought, well, okay, Christian joy's a lot different than maybe what we associate the word happiness. Happiness is a feeling and it's based on our circumstances. But joy gives us strength. The joy of the Lord is our strength. Strength as we know Jesus more. That's what joy is. It gives us joy deep down because we know who he is. So here's Paul in prison writing to the Philippians. Why? He was thanking them because you know what? When you're in prison, no one feeds you and no one takes care of you. They didn't believe that was their responsibility. You were in prison, you were in trouble, and you better get your own supplies. And so I started thinking, well, why are these people so faithful to him? And so I wanted to go back and see, what their connection was. Like our letters to the Romans, Paul had never even been there. He knew some of the people, but he'd never been there. Well, Philippians, the city of Philippi, he actually went there as one of his first missionary trips. He went to that city. And oh, what a story that is. That takes you, if you go to Acts chapter 16, you'll find out what happened. He was in jail again. Only this one was pretty amazing. So he gets tired of this little girl following him around, telling everybody that he is a servant of the Most High, because it's a demonic spirit. And he didn't want to listen to that anymore. He didn't need that announcing his way. So he casts them out. Well, the people get very upset because she was their cash cow, right? So him and Silas get thrown in jail only after being severely beaten. It says severely beaten. Okay. And with the orders to the jailer that he was, they were to be securely locked in. There'd be no way they could get out. But what happens? God happened around midnight while Paul and Silas are singing hymns to the Lord, and it says all the prisoners were listening. That picture right there is so amazing. Severely beaten, in prison, in chains, and they're singing hymns to the Lord. Oh, I just can't even imagine that. Well, what happens? Earthquake, okay? Breaks open the doors, breaks open the chains, and it's God. And so what does Paul do? They just all kind of stay there. All the prisoners and Paul and Silas. And here's the jailer getting ready to kill himself because he realizes his life's he's going to be worth nothing. He'll be killed anyways because the prisoners got out. But Paul yells out there, no, we're all still here. And through a series of events, the jailer falls to his feet and says, what must I do to be saved? I mean, he had to have heard those songs too. This is joy. It wasn't based on their circumstances. It was based on knowing God. Paul knew that his life, his steps were ordered of the Lord, so he had joy. So we're going to kind of go through some more scriptures on joy. I just thought this was a great introduction. And I pray, Father, for all of you listening and watching, that you understand that joy is based on our knowing Jesus. If you want joy, you need to know who is the giver of that. So I'll see you next week. Love you. Bye.